All right, so I have Photoshop open and I am going to run through the order of operations in Photoshop. And what I would like to do is I'm going to do it in a series of 3 videos. One with the first couple of steps, one with the middle steps, and then a third video showing you the final dodge and burn and healing tools. There will be another video that will come out later that will show you how to print your images and do the saving of the images as well. All right, Photoshop. Here we are. So at the top of the page, you'll notice that there are menu items. On the left-hand side of the page, you will see this toolbox. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move this toolbox a little bit. This is your welcome window. Right down here, it will show you the recent files that you've opened up. Tutorials, which I've mentioned, are really great and they will help you out quite a bit. But what we're going to do is we're going to come on over here to open. When you will always choose open because you want to find a file to use. So what I am doing is I'm just going to go to Louise and I'm going to double click and I'm going to open. All right, and there is a photograph of my puppy dog. Okay, and let me go over the screen again for you. So we've got our menu items up here, and everything to do with the file is under File. If you want to edit the document, here, Edit, and so on down the line. The reason I'm sharing this with you is that I don't have the whole program memorized, and I do not expect you to memorize it all either. However, you really want to learn how to navigate through it. So we've got our menu items. We have an options bar, and this options bar correlates to the tool that you are on. So please notice that every time I change my tool, my options up here change. So this is where you are going to specify how you want to use that tool. All right. Then on the other side, on the right-hand side, you'll see these panels. I really like to have the history panel open, and I also find it easy to have my layers up. So layers is something we will discuss later. We use them quite a bit in graphic design. We're not as busy with them in photography class, but still it's really great to have them. We've also got some other things that we can look at here. We'll pull up these other panels, these little icons, and then we've got other windows that we could open as well. Just again, I want you to know they're there. Now, if your screen does not have these tools on the side, or you don't have these panels, I'm going to turn off that navigator one, you can go to Window, Workspace, and click Essentials. And what that'll do is that'll make sure that those bare minimum items are up on the screen. You could actually program it to have your workspace set up. You know, you could set it up for your own. Let's see, new workspace. But honestly, we're not even going to get to that point. I just want you to know, oh my gosh, this is a really powerful program. So the first thing that I want you to do is you've got your image open in Photoshop. Yay, step one. Okay. The second step is we're going to save it as a TIFF. Now, as you know that there are several file formats for electronic files. And let's see, you've got DOC for a doc, and you've got a PNG for we call it a PNG, which is a low resolution image. We want to save this as a high resolution image, and we want to have a lot of details in it, meaning a lot of data saved in the document. So we're going to go to File, we're going to go to Save As. You decide, do you save your images on the cloud or do you save them on your computer? It's It's up to you. For me, I like having things on my computer. This is Louise, and I'm going to say take 572 because this poor puppy has been, this photo has been edited and re-edited. And then we want to save it as a TIFF, a TIFF. And if you look here on the right-hand side, you can arrow down and see all of your choices. Now, you might see when you're working on your document that it says it's a PSD. That's wonderful while you're working on it. PSD is a Photoshop document, and what that does is it lets you access all of the choices you've made about that image, and then you can go back and change them if you want. A TIFF, it still saves all the information, but it's just a different format so that you could open it in other programs. Okay, so then I'm going to hit save. I'm not going to worry about my image compression. I'm going to leave everything as is. And then you'll notice up here, Louise, take 572, TIFF. Okay. The next thing I want you to do, and this is I want you to see if there's any major cropping that you need to do to this image. Now, digital cameras are such that the format they shoot in does not fit a traditional 8.5, no, not 8.5, 8x10 picture frame. It's a little bit different. It's like 8x11 or something like that, 8x12 actually. So what I want to make sure is that we've got them in a ratio that you could print it out and put it in a frame. So you're going to click on the crop tool and then notice what happens up here at the top. Now, typically your image, you're just going to see ratio. All right. I want you to change it to a 4x5. Now notice my image cropped really quickly, way too quickly for what I wanted. So I have my history here. I'm just going to go back and I'm going to save it. I'm going to go back a step, and that's where I did my save as. I could take it back to the beginning. I'm looking here and it still says take 572, so I should be okay. It just means that I get to go back in time. So what happened is I have it on the crop tool. I have it on 4x5. I'm going to go here to these arrows and it switches it from horizontal to vertical and horizontal. It changes the ratio. Now my dog Sitter took this picture and that's her shoe, and I don't really want it in the picture, so I'm going to crop it a little bit. Now your photo may not have these guides on it. You can come on up here and you can change the type of grid. You don't even have to have any grid if you don't want it, but I like having the rule of thirds because then I can start putting my photo, cropping the image so that my dog is actually on one of those points of interest. So I can come in from the corner, and now Louise is more towards the top, and I would say it's much more of a spiral. And then my chair isn't as much of a distraction. Once I'm done, I'm just going to hit enter. Now, the big thing with crop tool, you want to get off of it and you want to go back onto the move tool. That's the best one to be on when you don't want things moving around on you. If I do not change it, every time I click, notice I get my crops again and I have to hit enter or something to remove them. It's very frustrating. So I'm back on that tool and I have done my first 3 steps. I have opened my photo, I have saved my photo, and I have cropped my image or rotated it if I needed to. Okay, so those are the first 3 steps.